What is up, guys? Logan here again. And I know we've been talking about options lately. I want to jump into a credit card video. I want to talk about credit, start this little series about building credit, because for someone who's young like me at 20, I have a credit score of about 762, which is the average credit score of a 70-year-old. So if you guys want to see how I built that credit over the last 3 years of my life, I started with a credit card at 18. I got a secured card through the bank. I had to pay $30 a year for it. And after 1 year of building credit, that's when I hopped away from that one and got my favorite credit card, which is the Amazon card. And the Amazon Rewards Visa is amazing because if you have an Amazon Prime account, you get 5% back on Amazon and at Whole Foods, and then you get 2% back at restaurants, drug stores, and gas stations, and then you get 1% back on everything else. So I think it's really cool, and if you don't have Prime, you get 3% back. So let's hop more in depth about it. I'll show you guys my purchases for the year, how I build credit, how I track my credit and stuff like that, just to make a quick little video like this, because I know a lot of people are asking about it. And then if you haven't joined the Discord yet, we have over 750 members in the stock trading Discord. So go there, there's a lot of helpful people in there. It's really an amazing community. I cannot stress that enough. I think you guys will benefit from it largely. I make call outs every once in a while on it, and then I also have that premium Discord for $30 a month if you want more one-on-one help, classes, weekend sessions, if you want to voice chat with me, stuff like that. So don't forget to check both those out. Links will be in the description below. So let's hop right into the rewards part that I was talking about. So if you guys can see here, like I said, I personally have 3% back at Amazon, 3% back at Whole Foods, 2% at restaurants, 2% at gas stations, drugstores, and then 1% back on everything else. This is what's really cool is you can redeem your rewards for travel, cashback, gift cards, or with points for Amazon.com for your purchases. So what I do is I do cashback nearly every time, and that's just really cool. I love using cashback. It goes straight into my checking account. So let's take a look at my credit card spending summary for the year. I got this card back in January, so this is super accurate. For the last 9 months, I've spent roughly $4,600 on my credit card, mainly professional services, and this is a lot of my advertising spend for my company when I was doing ads and stuff like that. And then also shopping. So shopping's a lot of my UPS for when I ship products out, stuff like that, like when I ship company products out, I put a lot of that on this credit card because it gets good cash back, and then I'll dive more into that. Then I also have personal stuff, so this is all, anything that I bought personally that they've sectioned off into. I wonder what's even in here. Oh, business filing. Yeah, okay, so I understand now. Health and wellness, so that's health and wellness products. Groceries, I spent a little bit on groceries this year. Gas is $405 in gas on this credit card. Food and drinks, I assume this is going out to eat. About $70 there. I don't really go out to eat. I have not gone out to eat at all since COVID started. This is literally all from February. So I got the card at the end of January, spent like 70 bucks out to eat in February, and have not gone out to eat since. So it's just crazy. And then we have bills and utilities, which I wonder what is even. This is my website that they put on bills and utilities. Your email for your email address so that you can have, my name at whatever.com. And then travel, I've spent about $300 this year on traveling. So this would be Spirit Airlines mainly, getting flights. I went to Atlanta, I went to Colorado, and then I also went to South Carolina. Looks like I've made about $100 this year in cash back, which is super cool, considering I get anywhere from 1 to 2 to 3% cash back. The majority of it, of course, is gas, which is 2%, and then I'll get 1% back on all my miscellaneous shopping. But that's what's really cool. With Amazon, I was able to get 3% back on my last purchase. So it's just really cool, and you can see your rewards stack up, and it's almost like it's passive income, because you're gonna make these purchases anyway, right? So why not just make them with a credit card, build your credit, and credit's just like investing. It's to set yourself up 5 years from now, 10 years from now, even next year. You can really build your credit, and it's just really cool just to make sure that you are focusing on your future in that way, especially financially. And it's just another way to achieve financial freedom. I think a lot of the mainstream media tries to scare us about credit cards. It talks about how many people are in credit card debt, talks about anything like that comes with credit cards, people missing payments. But you can set up recurring payments to where it automatically pays your whole statement on the next month, you know, on a specific day, just to make sure that you're covering your bases. TransUnion has my credit score at 759. Equifax has my credit score at 765. So what I really did to build this credit was I always made my payments on time, my monthly payments. I also signed off with my aunt, and she helped me to where her purchases also built my credit. So that's another way you can do it, is kind of sign up maybe with a parent or a family member who has, you know, a really good credit score. They make their payments consistently. So that's another way you can build your credit. And then also make sure you don't have too many accounts open and too many credit cards going, because it can become a lot to track. And that's something that is very important, because as humans, simplicity is so much better. That's why iPhones are so popular, because the simplicity in them. It's the same thing too, you know, with like credit. One credit card that's really good, maybe two, and maybe I would say three at the absolute most when it comes to having a credit card. But credit's great because you're gonna be getting money at some point on a loan in the future. If you're gonna dive into real estate, if you're gonna maybe buy a brand new car, you do what you want with your money. But yeah, you'll get a lower interest rate the better credit you have, especially if you just have like a consistent credit score. That's really what banks care about the most when they look at your credit. It's just like, do we trust this guy? So that's what's really nice about having a long-term consistent credit score, is because when you have an excellent credit score like I do, it's a lot easier for me to get loans from the bank and everything like that. Pay attention to that there, and I think that's super important when it comes to building your credit score. Like I said, I love my Amazon card. It's completely free. You know, there's no annual fee. A lot of credit cards have annual fees. So make sure you check that out as well. You know, there's also a lot of good travel cards. I know a lot of the airlines always run deals on travel cards. So that's something that you guys can look into as well, because then you'll get, you know, frequent flyer miles and all these rewards just for spending money that you were gonna spend anyway. So it's like almost a no-brainer to get a credit card, in my opinion, especially if you're consistent with it and you wanna get cash back. Like I said, I've made over $100 this whole year just on cash back. So I think that's super cool. Seriously, it's the coolest thing. Like $100 I would have never had before if it wasn't for the cash back for using a credit card. So I think that's something that's great. It can help you with financial freedom. It'll get your credit score up, and then you're more loan worthy compared to, you know, people who don't have credit. And it's really hard to get started, so starting at a young age is by far the best way to go about it. If you want another book that talks about this really well, if you know, you want to learn more, check out I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. That book's amazing. He really dives into credit right at the beginning of the book, and it opened my mind a little bit about credit and why it's super important to have. So it's really cool. Definitely check that book out. I think it's super important for you guys to start building credit, especially if you're young, you know, 18, 19, 20, even really up, you know, until you're 25. Like if you haven't even thought about starting your credit, getting that going, I think it's really important, and I really advise it. I really, really do. You know, if you've never even, like, I would get a debit card first just so you get used to making card purchases, and then jump ship, get a secured card, you know, whatever you have to do to start your credit off. Seriously, you could just call up a family member and like co-sign on it, and then you can go and get whatever card you want once you've been building your credit for about 6 months, 9 months. So if you think about the long-term game in your life here, I think it's the way to go, and it's almost like a no-brainer, like I said, to have a credit card. So just be careful with it. Don't get too extravagant. I never have since I've had mine, just because I'm mindful about what I spend. So if you guys can do that too, I think you'll set yourself up really well financially. You can get a little bit of money to invest, buy some options with them, or do whatever you want really with it. But that's gonna be it for me today. I just want to touch briefly on the credit card that I love, that I like to use. So if you guys, you know, want to get that credit card, just go to Amazon. You get a $50 Amazon gift card when you sign up for that card. So I think it's really cool. I use that $50 on the company. But that's going to be it for me today, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and we'll chat again soon.